All right, it is 6:03, and we'll call the meeting to order. If you will, please join me in the pledge of allegiance. Pledge of allegiance to the state and to the republic which stands one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice. Also, each month we share a portion of our vision, mission, and belief statements. And this month is the first half of the Bloomfield School District core values. We believe all students have the ability to learn, are important, and have unique skills to contribute successfully to our world. We believe in a valued, high qualified, team-oriented staff that cares for, supports, and teaches every student to their full potential every day. We believe that support and teamwork among our school districts, families, and communities provide the most effective learning outcomes in and out of the classroom. And we believe in relevant, inclusive, and engaging curriculum that appropriately prepares students for their life endeavors. And we're ready for the Students of the Month. All right.
All right, I've got Miss Rosetta Coons here with me. She is a kindergartner from Mrs. Dayhoff's class. Can you say hi to everybody? She is a sweetheart. Rosetta is the daughter of Matthew and Reva Coons. Her favorite subject is, she said, PE and art. PE and art. I asked her what her hobby was, and she says she likes to play with her dolls, right? Yes. And I asked her what her favorite food was. You told me? Bananas. Exactly, bananas. I asked what she likes best about Bloomfield, and she said, I like my teacher, don't you? Ms. Dayhoff's really nice, isn't she? I asked her what her favorite color was. She said the color yellow. And when I asked her about whether or not she had a favorite movie or TV show, she said she doesn't have one, just likes them all. Her teacher said about her, Miss Dayhoff says that Rosetta is kind to others, tries her best, loves learning, and demonstrates a positive attitude on a daily basis. Good job, kiddo. There you go. So I have for Rosetta here, I have a plaque for her. That I'll hand her right now. And I have a $5 Dairy Queen card. Dairy Queen donated to us for these little ones. Dairy Queen card. Stand up over here real quick. Mom, if you want to get a picture, you're welcome to come up and get one as well. Give me a big smile, all right?
Paper writer. Paper.
Love it.
Thank
Okay, my next, by the way, the first two are from January, then my third one will be February. But I would like to call Ellie Fig up here. So Ellie here is a fifth grader. Her homeroom teacher is Mr. Graves. Obviously, she travels to all four of our fifth grade teachers. She is the daughter of Andy Fig and Audra Thompson. Her favorite subject in school, science, without hesitation. Her favorite hobby, playing basketball. All right, that's a good one. Of course, I asked her what her favorite food was. Remember what you told me? Steak. How do you like what steak? Filet. How do you like your rare? Yeah. Rare. Favorite color was teal. Again, we're on a roll here. I said, what's your favorite movie, TV show? And she says, I don't have one. like to be outside. Hey, I like to hear that. I had two of them here that have said that, so that's awesome. So I asked her what she likes best about Bloomfield. She said, I like the teachers. They have all been nice to me and really care about my education. And then I have two quotes. Mr. Graves wanted to give a quote, and then Mr. Raper wanted to give a quote. So Mr. Graves says, Ellie shows great perseverance when something becomes a strong challenge. I believe that. And will work right up until the deadline to improve her project. Mr. Raper says, Ellie is a terrific student. Her classwork is top-notch and neat. She is always willing to add new insights to our discussions, and she will passionately argue for what she believes. Your mom didn't seem surprised about that. Okay. She is also very helpful in the classroom and additionally quite an athlete. For sure, Ellie is an all-around scholar and a joy to have in class. And that was from Mr. Lee. So again, I'm going to hand you your Dairy Queen card as well, kiddo. Mom, if you want to get a picture, you want to look and come up. All right. Mom's going to come on up here. Come on up here, lady.
Make it one, just one of you.
John.
Now my February of the month. This one was kind of last second, wasn't it? We've been ill for a little while, so it took me a few weeks to get to her. Caden Kuntz, come on up here. So I'm going to go ahead and hand you this as well. All right. So Kate, I got your glasses, sorry. I'm not that age. Caden is the second grader in Mrs. Booer's class. She is the daughter of Brandon and Kay Kuntz. Her favorite subject is reading. Her hobby is? What's your favorite food?
My grandma's meat.
Grandma. Can't beat it, can you?
Yeah, that's nice.
There you go. She loves it. Favorite color, she said, was blue. Favorite TV or movie?
So good.
I like The Grinch. That's a good one, too. Absolutely. What did she like best about Bloomfield? She just says, I love my teachers. Mrs. Boer says that Caden demonstrates self-discipline, perseverance, and a caring attitude each day at school. Look at the smile on that girl's face. I guarantee you she does display that caring attitude. All right, you ready? Mom, you want to come on up? All right, baby. Ready? 1, 2, 3. All right, let Mom get one here. One more, baby. All right, this is Dean.
Okay, so for the month of February, we are recognizing our students of the month for juniors and sixth grade. I'm going to start out with our junior, and that is Miss Annie Pegg. Annie, come on up, please. Annie, of course, junior. She is involved in several different things: softball, volleyball, FCA, FCCLA, Beta, Student Council, FFA, and Yearbook. All right, so Annie is very involved, and of course, her teachers are very appreciative of her efforts because she is very helpful with everything. Her hobbies are she loves going to games, and I didn't know this until today. She enjoys not this day enjoy, but she worked at Bright Beginnings Daycare, and she enjoys working there at Bright Beginnings Daycare. Her favorite subject, yearbook, right in here. She is a huge help to Miss Bladen, I know that for sure. Her favorite food is breadsticks, and she says what she likes most about Bloomfield Middle and High School is that everyone knows everyone, and many college classes are offered. So congratulations, Annie. this for you. I'm gonna go back and get your shirt there. So mom can come up and take your picture. That.
Yeah, just don't both. Hold on, sure.
All right, and next student of the month is for sixth grade, and that is Mason McCune. Come up here, Mason. How you doing? You sure? All right, so Mason is involved in basketball and junior beta club as a sixth grader. So getting started, and there's going to be many opportunities for him as it goes along. But I know that he is involved. Every day I watch his class, basically it's all sixth graders, play knockout in the gym. And I ask him, does anybody ever win? And they always tell me, no, they just keep playing. It's just a never-ending game that just keeps on going. But Mason's hobbies, he enjoys basketball and baseball. His favorite subject, I'll tell you. Yeah, PE. His favorite food? Where from? Anywhere? Particular? Home? No? Just say cheeseburger. Okay. I'm with you. All right, and what he likes most about Bloomfield Middle School, the teachers are nice and the people are nice. So, Mason, good job, buddy. Mom can come up, or dad. Right. Yeah.
Well, again, congratulations to the students of the month and also to their families. And I will invite you to stay for the rest of the meeting, but if you need to leave for some reason, we'll pause for just a second because this is the funnest part of the meeting. The rest of it's just all business from here. Great. If not- Get out there. Oh, yeah. Recognition for the living.
So got a few here. I always like to highlight our drawing winners for our character trait and our Ideal Graduate trait. We had 4 from January. Again, the character trait was self-discipline. Ideal Graduate trait was determined. The 4 students that I wasn't able to highlight last month because we drew after the meeting was Carter Sechrist, Caden Koontz, who was just here, Drake Sherrard, and Lily Austin. And then for February, our character trait was fairness, or is fairness, and our graduate trait is inclusive. And so our winners from our drawing was Harvey Hodges, Ren Cooper, Trevor Vest, Harmony Slavin, Harley Rumpel, and Melanie Middleton. So congratulations to all of them on a job well done. Also, I wanted to highlight and just kind of recognize Mr. Graves. This past several weeks, Miss Shaw has been out with her health. So we had to make some adjustments to 5th grade. Mr. Graves took on both science and social studies. So science is his thing, right? I mean, the man is phenomenal when he's teaching science. So I wasn't real sure how the whole social studies thing was going to go, but I'm telling you what, he's knocking it out of the park. So just kind of a few things there. You know, when we had our first snow, he had a hot chocolate day with them because they were celebrating the first measurable snow that we had and had a lesson over it, all kinds of stuff, just to get the kids interested, keep them entertained, but really kind of encouraging them to want to learn. That was on the science side, so that's his thing. But then he had for history, he was talking about the Revolutionary War. And so they had a theme, no taxation without representation. Everybody had to dress up into that kind of era, and they had to give their spiel on the whole no taxation thing. So he doesn't just like get up there and preach it. I've been in his room, slideshows, graphs. He makes the kids kind of tell him what they learn, and they debate it and they discuss it, and he just does a phenomenal job. So I just want to kind of highlight him a little bit because, to be honest with you, kids want to go to his room. They want to be in that room. That says a lot about a teacher. And kind of highlight a few other things. I got to thinking about just some of the projects and stuff that our teachers do. And so I started paying attention a little bit to that. And I went down to 4th grade. Mrs. Barker was teaching inertia as they involved in collisions. And they were using little Hot Wheels and little blocks of different sizes and kind of running it into the blocks and seeing what happens when it has to stop suddenly and all that. Again, just encouraging kids to enjoy learning. And that's what they were doing. And the kids were loving it. 3rd grade, Mrs. Parsley, they did a project where they hatched dinosaur eggs. And that all stemmed from a book they were reading called the Albertosaurus, if I say that right, the Albertosaurus mystery book. And the kids had read through the book, hatched the eggs. I went in there that day, they were doing that, and they were having a blast. Also wanted to kind of give a shout out there to Lexi Robinson. I know that's in your area, but she did planet project presentations. And why I'm giving her the shout out is she reached out to all my elementary teachers and encouraged them to bring the kids over to see what the middle school kids had done. It was 6th grade projects. And I think several of my teachers took her up on it, and the kids were pleased. They were excited. They were telling me all about it. So I appreciate her doing that, kind of encouraging them as they move up the grade levels there. And then Miss Sally Neal was in her room one day, 1st grade students. They were talking, actually they had teamed up with the Makery. Miss Hudson and them had teamed up a little bit, and they were talking about or learning about circuits. So she had them build cards to send home to their parents, but they were light up cards, which I thought was pretty neat. And they could do that. I'm sure the parents thought that was pretty neat too. So just kind of wanted to highlight a few of those things. I feel like I don't do that enough, to be honest with you. Wanted to remind everybody that our pre-K and kindergarten roundup will be held next Friday, March 3rd. We'll do that from 8:30 to 3. I kind of see how many, just get an idea of how many we got coming in at the kindergarten level and preschool level. Welcome Wednesdays are still going on. Shout out to Mrs. Hill. She kind of runs that, but Mr. Wagner and his Marvel Club, I don't know if you guys know what the Marvel Club is, but he's a big Marvel enthusiast. And so they were out there welcoming the kids as they came in, holding all their Marvel just items that they had out there. And then the next week, the high school cheerleaders came over and welcomed the kids. And then finally, the Lady Cardinal basketball team, they came around, did the same thing. Speaking of the Lady Cardinals, just wanted to kind of shout out to them. Great season, winning sectional, regional. I want to thank Mr. Dean because when they're having success over here, he always includes the elementary. And the teams come through, they walk through our halls, and if those little kids can't pump you up, I don't know what can. Because they come down, those kids are superstars to my kids down there. And so having them walk through is a big deal. We had kids, whenever I announced that they were coming down the hall, they were still at the breakfast. And they were running down the steps and running to the hall so they could get into place. And I'm like, they're coming through the cafeteria, right? They didn't care. They wanted to be down there. So they're all excited about that. So I appreciate him always being willing to kind of include us in what's going on over here. Counselors Week, was that last week or the week before? Week before. So I want to kind of highlight Kim Hill, Susan Street, Craig Barnhart. We had a meal for them, kind of surprised them with some gifts, things like that. But they do such a great job, all three of them. I don't know what we'd do without. So, and then of course, FFA Week. I know some of you were looking at us. Somebody called us the Bopsy Twins, whatever. Yeah, Chad called us the Bopsy Twins. But this is FFA Week, so it's Spirit Week. Today was Flannel Day, if you hadn't guessed it. Tomorrow's Blue and Gold Day, I believe. So everybody's dressing up kind of to go along with that. They had the tractor parade. I believe it was yesterday. Again, you want to see a bunch of little kids get excited? Drive 8 tractors down the road. They are loving it, right? They were loving it. They had the petting zoo. I guess tractor day was Tuesday. What's today? Thursday, Tuesday. Petting zoo was yesterday. And so again, animals and little kids, They're loving it, and so they all get to take their turns going and seeing all the different animals that they bring in. So big, huge thank you to all the FFA students and Julie Huffman for putting all that on for us. All right, and that's all I've got for you. I'll turn it over.
Okay, so the high school, middle school and high school February recognitions, I'll go back to the beginning. We had 5 students, Baden Arthur, Josie Astafan, Eleanor Beretta, Emma Cummings, and Peyton Rash. Their artwork is on display at Brown County at the Art Guild's annual student and patron exhibition in Nashville. And of course, Mr. LeGrand helped set that up. And so that's quite an honor to have 5 students, certainly, for their artwork to be recognized there. Now, I don't know if it's still currently on there. That was at the beginning of the month. But either way, good job for them. We had 2 of our boys players that made the IVCA Player of the Week for District 3, Southern District, District 1, District 2, District 3 for the IHSA. Peter Combs was week 14, and that it was labeled Bloomfield Buzzer Beater Headlines Week 14 when they took care of North Davies. And so Peter made that, and then we went back to back, and Blake Neal made Player of the Week for District 3 the following week for his performance against Washington on Friday night. So congratulations to both Peter and Blake. You got a senior and a freshman. And then also to Coach Neal and the rest of the team. You know, very successful season to the point. About ready to wrap up. Senior night will be tomorrow. And sectional begins next Wednesday for us. We drew Clay City. And so, you know, taking care of business is what we want to do and keep moving on. But, you know, they've had it's been an enjoyable ride with the girls and getting ready now for the guys. So looking forward to that. We had, excuse me, the SWIAC will be having our winter banquet next week, I believe. Either way, at the winter banquet, of course, we recognize the all-conference for girls basketball and boys basketball, which has not been taken care of yet. But we also recognize our academic all-conference. And all conference schools submit names, and there's a formula. Jed Geralds, who's the principal of North Davies, former band teacher here at Bloomfield, he created a formula, but you know, takes into account their GPA, takes into account weighted classes and their SAT scores or ACT for that. And we've got 3 academic all-conference, Kansas Rhodes, Peter Combs, and Adeline Wiseman. And they do not have to be athletes to be SWIAC academic all-conference. There's a tie-in, and most times they usually are in some capacity. So Kansas, you know, is a runner, plays soccer. Peter, of course, we know is basketball there, and Adeline was a good runner since Flint's kind of derailed that a little bit, but she played soccer this fall, and just to tie that in. So congratulations to those 3 for being academic all-conference for the SWIAC. Also, we had several students that participated in the ISMA band competition, solo and ensemble with Ms. Helms. And we had 9 gold ratings and 1 silver rating out of the students. So I want to congratulate all those. I don't have a list of like who got gold or got silver, so I just kept it generic at that. But I want to tell congratulations to our students and also to Ms. Helms. I mentioned the girls basketball making the Elite 8, you know, winning the regional over at Southwest Shelby. So we traveled almost 2 hours to Southwest Shelby, and we traveled 2 hours to New Albany. But it was a nice experience. Girls represented themselves very well. You know, certainly over the regional, and then, well, I mean, let's just face it, here at home and winning the sectional final, they did a great job. That was fun. Coach Babcock and the girls had a great year. You know, a lot of question marks coming in, didn't really know what to expect. And I was really happy for them, for the seniors and that. And then, like I said, it ended up down in New Albany, which was a nice way. Would have been nice to have won that game, but they, again, gave good performance and gave themselves good representation. Mike mentioned also FFA week, and Ms. Huffman and the FFA students have put together a good week. Of course, the driver tractor work week or day on Tuesday. And I know my neighbor, Gracie Neal, they washed and waxed and They were looking good. I will tell you that. And they had 3 of them up there. So, but the guys had a really good time with that. The kids, and of course it'll culminate tomorrow with the pancake breakfast. And so, really appreciate all that Julie does with FFA and getting that going. ROTC is preparing for their Area 3 Drill Championships in Pike. Normally, those who've been on the board for a while know that they used to travel to Ohio, usually Hamilton Heights or someplace like that. And the new area commander split it up, and so which was nice for us. And so it's going to be at Pike High School. They'll be spending the night. So it's not out of state, but it is overnight. Took care of that in January. And so we want to wish them the best of luck. They've had a really good year and done a lot of good things. I'm looking forward to take that off. They're also your approving trips to Galveston, Texas, and orienteering national championships in Georgia. They'll probably, certainly have a good time down there as well. We took our sophomores to Hoosier Hills 2 weeks ago, February 8th, 2 or 3 weeks ago. Either way, we want, number one, we want to give them an idea of what it looks like. Great recruiting tool. We got 26 applications to Hoosier Hills. That's the most to date since we've been a part of Hoosier Hills that we've had. Generally, it's been in the neighborhood of 15 to 20-ish. But they have a lot of programs, several programs, 18 different programs, in fact, and really hit a chord with a lot of our students. So, we'll continue to provide transportation. Some of the second-year students will have to drive based on internships or where they're located. We've got a couple driving now for that. And then Mike mentioned counselors. Miss Fagan, our counselor on this side, and Chelsea Gregory, our new graduation and career coach. I want to reach out to them. And of course, Mr. Barnhart, our school psychologist, who does work on this end as well. And then also one thing, we had SRO Day. And so I want to give a shout out to Marvin, who's on our books, and really glad that he is a Bloomfield employee. And we have that. I know there's some finer things that we still have to work out with the Bloomfield PD on some things, and we'll do that. I know but it's nice to have that with us. And then finally, February cardinal trait is nice. We were inclusive in January, and we are nice in February. So we will be, next Tuesday, we will be recognizing those students in middle school and high school that were recognized by their teachers for being nice. Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. And let's see, do we have any public comments regarding agenda items?
None that signed in.
Okay. All right, consent agenda.
Meeting minute for the work session. We can go ahead and lump these together.
Yeah, they're all in the other one.
All right,
Yeah.
meeting minutes for the January 26th regular, the 26th executive. Make a motion to approve those minutes.
Those are all the ones.
Okay.
No consent.
Treasurer's report. And
Yeah, personnel.
personnel.
Yes.
And we have none to report.
Okay.
And we jump to donations.
Yes.
I'll let you do those.
Okay, under donations, oops, let me just put it here. We would like to thank the following for donations to the athletic department, Kristen Rollison, and also Greg, Shauna, Hank, and Miles in memory of Sheila Workman, Janice Walker, Jennifer Mendenhall, and Kelly Speltz in memory of Boomy Vaught, and Charles and Noel. I'm sorry if I pronounced this wrong. Thank you. In memory of Boomy Vaught. And then also the following to the baseball team, Travis Hayes, Brian Mornings and family, Rex and Shirley Hudson, Hilltop Farms, Luke and Ashley Rudisell, and Jordan and Vaught Insurance. And then also donations to the NJROTC. Linda Maddox, First Christian Church, Stephanie Hill, Tom and Martha Bishop, the Bloomfield Lions Club, Patricia Byers, Teresa Lasota, the First Christian Church, Alan Ballman, Randall Baker, the Gillens, and Mike and Holly Lemons. And then
We go to the fundraiser requests. We have several. You have those in your notes. Baseball online fundraising for the Teamworks to turn from the home plate circle. Culture Club, Pizza Hut fundraising for a European trip. The Culture Club for Mill Street Pizza fundraising for a European trip.
Do we have any questions or comments about the consent agenda? All right, seeing none, do I have a motion to approve?
I'll motion we approve.
All right, and do I have a second?
I'll second.
All right, all in favor? All right, thank you.
Next, under other business, we had Bloomfield High School Student Handbook. This came to our attention when a patron requested that we consider having freshmen attend the high school prom. We looked back at the student handbook, and it very clearly states that that will not occur. We had 14-year-olds in the freshman class,
Right.
sometimes 18 and 19-year-olds and seniors. That's been given consideration. Your board recommended the handbook, and I have to stand with that as well. But if you have comments or concerns or questions,
When did that change?
it didn't.
Well, it used to be a freshman could go as a day.
I'll have to,
Junior and seniors could go, but sophomore, junior,
They had to be
sophomore, freshman
invited.
had to be a day.
Throughout my tenure in this position. And I'm pretty sure, I don't know whenever freshmen were ever allowed to attend prom as a guest or not.
So it's been a long time.
It was
So,
at least
yeah, it goes, it
2007.
predates me.
Yeah.
At least 1987.
Well, we can go
For
back
sure
to
in 84
87.
and 85.
Yeah.
You definitely know that. So, yeah, and it, the verbiage in there, it's eligible juniors and seniors, and then it specifically says guests cannot be freshmen in high school or younger. So, it's been longstanding.
any other thoughts from your?
No, I think that's the biggest thing right there. Clearly, I think there's just an age level there that could happen with freshmen and seniors, and this maturity wise, it's something that we've just stuck to and had. I think it's a good policy to have in place. And I don't see any reason to modify it.
Thank you.
Any questions or comments? All right,
We have the ROTC drone competition. This is an overnight and out of state.
all right. Do we have any questions or comments about this trip? All right, seeing none, do I have a motion to approve?
I'll motion we approve.
All right, thank you. And a second?
I'll second.
All right, all in favor? Okay,
We have an ROTC national championship, March 16 to 20th. That also is an overnight and out of state to Atlanta, Georgia.
questions or comments about this trip? All right, seeing none, do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve.
All right, and a second?
I'll second it.
All right, all in favor? All right, thank you.
This is a Navy Coast Guard trip to Galveston, Texas. Sounds like a good trip.
Do they need chaperone?
I'm sure that-
I want to be an ROTC. Like, I don't want to do all the work. I
Right.
just want to go on the press.
Yeah, you reach out to Mike, they'd be happy. Yeah.
Any other questions or comments about this trip? All right, do I have a motion to approve?
I'll motion we approve.
All right, and a second?
I'll second.
All right, all in favor? All right, thank you. And now for the superintendent's report.
I'll let you know that we have rekeyed the building. We did have a visit by the fire marshal, and he wanted to make sure that they had access and that there was some kind of clear and consistent bookkeeping as far as where the keys are, where they were. We had a number of key locks that were simply not functioning. And so that has been done, and it's working well. Both the high school and the elementary will keep track as well as the SRO, and we think it will be a much safer environment. Additionally, we've continued to work on a lot of the renovation issues, long conversations with KRM and Empire, and we're making headway. I'll just say that it's not been a simple process, and those groups don't always agree with one another. I think David was on the last conversation with us. It got a little heated,
It did. It was a little
but
pretty.
I think you would be proud to know that Dan stood up for what had to be done, what needed to be done with a great deal of specificity, and it's coming along. It's just a lot of tug and pull. A good bit of it will be done over spring break, and then again in the summer. We're making headway. That's all I have.
Do we have any board member comments and items for future agendas?
So regarding what Steve emailed about, the, for an update on the athletic fund,
Yes, I can give you that as well. Athletic fund in January of '22, we had $32,332. And in January of '23, $40,773. So that's an increase of 8,441. And things will continue to improve as we look at a lot of events coming yet in this next month. So things are back on track.
Yeah, we had some really big gates. We almost brought in 10,000 at the North Davies game alone.
I was working that concession stand.
It was-
I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Right. It was a packed house. I mean, we've had some really good crowds. I anticipate a big one tomorrow, of course, for Bar Reed.
Mhm.
You know, it goes on the years, right? You know, one year you're heavy in the early part and heavy in the second part the next year. And we worry about that. You know, Linton's always a big draw, but that was last year, and so forth. But North Davies was big. Washington brought a big crowd. I was trying to think if there's somebody else that, but Bar Reed was big. So we've had some big gates here this basketball season. Helps when you win.
And congratulations. It's been an awesome time.
Yeah,
Really
it really has.
Makes everybody smile.
Right?
Was there a resolution found with the baseball pay for the coach? Yeah.
I'm sorry, what?
I'm not aware.
no, I think he told him that he would be accepting his check from now on and no longer donating it directly back to the general athletic fund.
I don't know. I didn't hear the question.
On the
The
baseball.
baseball fund, the donation that was donated, that was supposed to go into the baseball fund, but went into the athletic fund. Was there a resolution to that?
I don't know
What
what
was
you're
the
talking. I don't know specifically what you're talking about.
Well, the contact that was made with us was that the baseball coach was donating his stipend back and with it to be earmarked to go into the baseball program. And that it was instead going into the general athletic fund.
Right.
You
Right,
didn't
that's
know
what's
that
been,
till
anytime,
years later.
past practice, been when they donate, it goes back in because they're paying for transportation. They're covering costs for everything. So, yeah. I mean, and, I know JV, when coaches come and they need stuff, he purchases, things for them. So,
The resolution is that if you want to do that, then just take your money and then give it back to whatever you want to give it to. And I think that was the lesson learned there, so.
Fair enough.
Any other questions or comments? All right, our future board meetings will be regular scheduled board meeting on February the 23rd. Well, that's not, no, this has not been updated.
My mistake. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, yeah, this was the last one. So March 23rd, 2023, and then April, do you have the date there?
27, I want to say.
Yeah.
March, April. 27th is
Yeah.
Thursday.
April 27th, both at 6 p.m. right here in the media center. So this meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
So Dan, Saturday morning, are you guys coming down my way 231 to get a jumper?